Okay, I am here to give a quick tutorial, kind of a run through of how I do video editing on the iPhone and make it look pretty professional. I am here at High Branch Brewing Company. I got me a pint of their Ghosted IPA. I'm doing this video under the banner of Moreland Interactive, which is my other hobby slash company that I do video production and other digital graphic arts under. So let's get right to it. First thing is I have an iPhone, I don't know, 11 or 12, I think it's an iPhone 12, current operating system, iOS 16. I'm going to be using the the Apple iMovie software application to edit the video. So I just finished shooting some shots of video at High Branch Brewing Company as I was coming in, as I was getting my beer, did a couple of different shots. That's what you want to do when you're shooting a video on your iPhone. You want to, depends on what you're shooting for, landscape or vertical, I always shoot landscape unless I'm doing something specifically for the vertical format in like Instagram stories. But I shoot horizontal, and I also shoot in slow-mo a lot, unless there's going to be some commentary. I always shoot in slow-mo because with slow-mo you can always speed it up. If you shoot in regular speed and you try to slow it down, it gets choppy. So I always shoot in slow-mo when I'm shooting my shots that have no audio or no explainer video or no interviews. I always shoot in slow-mo. So I got my shots on the iPhone. I'm going to edit them. I try not to shoot too many shots. If you shoot too much video, it makes it difficult to sit down and actually chop it up. So I try to think through what I want the video to look like before I start shooting the video, and try to shoot a limited number of shots. So here we go. So the first thing that I do is I go into iMovie. Some of these concepts will work in other video apps and on other phones, but I'll go into iMovie, open it up, and the first thing I'll do is I start a new movie. So I'm starting from scratch. I'll go over and select my, it'll default to that other thing you saw, but I always go back and hit video because it's going to show me what my latest videos are in the list. And so it's showing the list of videos here. You can see I have, it says today on the top left there. Under today I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 shots that I'm going to edit for this particular video. In iMovie, what you do is you select the video you want and then hit the check mark next to it. So you can see it's highlighted in yellow every time I select the video. And now I got my videos I selected. I'm going to hit create movie. And you can see at the end of this timeline where it adds the clips to, it says I have 9 minutes worth of video. I'm going to get this down to a 1 minute video from start to finish, including the intro and the outro. Just because I want to be succinct when I'm publishing on social media. I want to be real succinct. I do a lot of longer form videos, but I want to be succinct. Here's a trick that I do. I have, on my iPhone, I have albums. I have my albums, and then I have shared albums, but albums. Under my albums, when you put videos in my albums and not a shared album, you can actually get those videos here in iMovie. So let me show you. If I click plus and I go to video, I can see these albums. These are not the shared albums. For some reason, iMovie doesn't let you access the shared albums. If you want to save some video clips that you're going to use over and over again, save them under my albums, just a regular album. They'll get backed up if you have iCloud, so that way if you get a new phone, they'll show back up in there. But I like to keep a list of what I call iMovie stuff. See, there's a folder called iMovie stuff. If I click that, I have some intros and some outros that I've created and I saved so I can reuse them in my videos. That's a good tip if you want to keep doing an intro and an outro. So for this video, I have my intro, which has my logo spinning, and then I'm going to put my outro in there now. All of my outros always have, I'm clicking the plus sign, by the way. I know you can't see what I'm clicking, but when I click iMovie stuff, which is my album, I click this, actually first thing I do is I click this plus sign right under the main thing, there's a little plus sign right there. If you click that, you can add various different components, audio, video. When you click the plus sign, you can go find you click on plus signs, click on video, click on the album where you saved your reusable clips, iMovie stuff, and I click on this and I can add that clip. Oops, I added the wrong one. I wanted the outro clip, which is the Moreland, created by Moreland Interactive clip. So that'll fade out into my outro. And I always like to end my videos with a black screen to kind of fade out into black. So I go to photos and I click iMovie stuff again under photos, and now because I clicked on photos, it's only showing me photos. I went on Google and I just searched for black, and I went to images and I downloaded the blackest image I could get, and I saved it into that folder, and now I have a black outro. So when I fade out, I fade to black. Okay, so that's that. First thing I want to do is I want to get my intro set up. And for the intro, I'm going to probably just kind of show the Gibson Market sign, because that's where this brewery is located. And the first thing you want to do is I'm swiping with my finger, to swipe on this timeline to move this clip back and forth. And so I'm just going to go do a quick little slow motion pan of the Gibson Market sign. So what I do is I click on the clip, and you can see it's highlighted in yellow. If I click away from it, when I click on it again, you can see it gets highlighted in yellow, and then you get a bunch of options on the bottom. See how they go away? Click on it. Now you get a bunch of options. The first option is a pair of scissors, which allows you to do different things with the clips as far as cutting it in half, detaching audio, and stuff like that. You get a little dial, little timer dial that allows you to change the speed of the clip. You see when I clicked on that, I got a yellow bar on my clip. You have an audio, little speaker with an audio sound coming out of it. That allows me to do things with the audio. Then you have text. You can add various different text components to the video, and it gives you a little preview of what they might look like on the bottom there. You can see the different images of or different graphics of what that text would look like. I'm not going to do any text overlays this video. I may do it in another video. And then you have these different filters where you can change. You can do black and white. You can do a little cinematic vignette. You can do something like that, bluish, duotones. It depends on what you're doing. For this video, I'm just going to keep everything normal. So let's go back to the scissors. I clipped part of the video. I didn't clip the video yet, but I'm going to clip right there because I just want to get a pan, a slow motion pan of the sign. So click the scissors, click the clip first, get it highlighted, click the scissors, then you click the split option on the bottom. That splits the clip in half, or in whatever portion you clipped it. The good thing about that is it does not alter the video. It's a continuous flow still, even though you've cut it. And I'll show you why that's important later. But I'm going to get rid of that first part by clicking on it, and I can click delete. I could also, I'm going to undo, see the little arrow, little back arrow right there? Right there? If you click that little circular, semi-circular back arrow, it undoes whatever you just did. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that part that I clipped off. See that clip that I clipped off? I can either delete it with the delete button, which I did. I'm going to undo, or I can click it, hold, and drag. And you see a little cloud appears on top of it as I move it up into the main viewfinder. If I let it go while it's up there, it disappears. So you can drag and drop and delete, which is very quick when you just kind of you're going real quick. You can do that. So now I got my pan. It's just a couple seconds. Another thing you can do, if you cut too much off, you see when I click the clip, I got a little yellow handle off to the left. If you hold your finger on that and drag, you can add some of the clip back. So while it deletes the clip, see how it's adding more back to it? when you cut a clip, you don't delete the actual content, you're just cutting it. So you still have access to go back and add that back by clicking and holding that yellow mark and just dragging. So I think I cut it too much, so I'm gonna keep it there. I'm gonna swipe over, that's my pan now. So now I have a 2.4 second pan of the sign walking into the building. Okay, so you don't have to. I always stick to 3 seconds or less for every clip that I do, because if you look at your favorite music video or commercial, the clips are usually 3 seconds or less. So watch a commercial or a video, a music video, and you'll see that the clips only last for about 3 seconds or less. That keeps your attention because you're seeing different things. At some point, if the clips are too long, you'll get bored and it's like, what is this? So I don't need the rest of this clip, so I'm just gonna delete that. I don't think I had anything else on there that I needed. Yeah, so I'm gonna swipe up, get my little cloud, and then it deletes. So now I got my intro. I don't like this. You see these little marks in between the clips? Those are transitions. If you click on that, see when I clicked on it, it highlighted. That gives me different options for transitions. I can do a fade to color, so that's gonna fade into black. If I click it again, and I go down to the bottom, if I type, see where it highlighted in blue, the different transition? If I tap that again, see it's got a little dots right below those lines? If I click it again, see how the dot moved? It moved again, and it just moved again? That changes it from a black fade to a white fade. So I left it, I'm gonna leave it a white fade, because my clip before this is white, so I'm gonna fade to white into my new video, in my new section. I also don't like how long this first intro is, so I'm going to clip that down to 3.2 seconds. I don't like really long intros. I don't get the point. So I'm going to make it 3.2 seconds. See at the top of the logo, in the very top viewfinder there, it shows at the top the number of seconds that clip is. So as I drag, it changes. So I'm going to change it down to 3.2. Got my white fade in, and now I got my intro. So if I play that, you'll see I got my intro that comes up, fade to the pan of the intro, and now I got my next clip. My next clip, I want to do something very interesting in this. Actually, I want to fade to black on that. So I got, when you add a transition, it actually cuts off some of the previous clip and the next clip, because it needs to make an overlay over top of both clips, so it actually truncates some of it. So you can see when I click on this, that clip is 3 seconds. When I click back on my transition, you see it's going to turn yellow, transition. I can now click on the bottom row and add my transition. My clip is now 3 seconds, but if I add a transition, now my clip is only 2.8 seconds. I want a 3 second clip, so what I do is I grab my little handle and I make my clip bigger now, put it back to 3 seconds. Also, when you click on this, when you click on the transition, you see at the very bottom of the screen it says 0.5, 1.0, 1.5. You can change the duration of the transition. I like a 1 second transition. I think it's more dramatic when I'm shooting in slow-mo. But when I changed the duration of it, it changed my clip back to 2.8, because now it's a longer transition. So I'm going to move that back to 3 seconds. And now I got my 3 second clip, and I got my 1 second transition into my next video. So with this video, I'm going to do something interesting. I'm going to do what's called a speed ramp. A little known thing that you can do in iMovie that a lot of people don't know is you can do a speed ramp. Speed ramps are very dramatic because you can zoom into something real quick, stop, go slow again, and then speed up again. Or the other way, slow, speed up, and then go slow again. It allows you to put a lot of content within a clip, but without having it be more than 3 seconds. So I'm going to zoom in. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and cut this clip. I'm going to go back to my scissors at the bottom. I'm going to click split. Remember, it doesn't change the clip. It just gives you the option to make changes to this first part of the clip that don't apply to the next part of the clip. And that's where the fun part begins. So another thing you can do is your clips are a certain size when you first start. If you click on a clip and then you pinch right below the clips and you do this, see how the clip starts to expand? It's not making the clip longer. It's still going to be whatever seconds I made it. It's just making it wider for my visual, for my editing, so I can do more with it. So that's another thing. If you pinch below the video, it gives you the option to make the actual graphic of the clip bigger, but not the actual duration of the clip. So see, that's a 2.2 second clip. I'm making it wider, but it's still 2.2 seconds. Okay, so back to this. So this clip is 2.2 seconds. I think that's good. 2 seconds on that clip. And then I'm gonna click on it. And now I'm gonna go to my little dial or timer icon on the bottom and click it. And now you can see my clip got a little yellow bar on the bottom. And that yellow bar is basically my time, my speed for that clip. You can see it says the little graduated scale on the bottom. It has a circle, a white circle that shows its points right here at the bottom. It's on number 3. So I'm going to leave that there because that's slow-mo. But for this next clip, I'm going to speed it up because I want to slow-mo, speed up, and then I want to stop and have a nice dramatic effect. So I'm going to scroll over to where I think I need to stop right there, and I'm going to clip this. I'm going to go back to my scissors, and I'm going to hit split. Now I have 3 clips. I have the beginning, the middle, and I have the high branch part. And so what I can do is if I click on this middle clip, I can click on my dial down there again, and I can drag the little circle along the graduated scale and speed it up. So now I have a faster clip that's now 1.8 seconds. So it's less than 3 seconds. So if I play this, it's going to show me slowly walking up, and then it's going to speed up, and then it's going to stop and go slow again. See that? So we're going slow, we speed up, and then we stop, and then we go. All one continuous motion. And then I'll cut this off I'll cut this last clip off at, let's give it 2 seconds. And now I got a nice intro coming into the building that shows me, just kind of go back to the beginning. So I got my intro, I got my fade to white, I got my fade to black. I'm walking up to the spot, speed ramp in, dramatic kind of intro to the place, and I still have this clip here, so I don't want all of that. So I see how I got myself in the camera right there. I'm in the shot because of my reflection. I'm gonna keep swiping. Basically, you swipe underneath the clip. You can swipe on top of the clip. I'm just gonna keep swiping until I get to a point where I'm no longer in the clip, and I want to show myself walking into the building. And I'm going to fade that out. I can leave that just a jump cut. That's called a jump cut. That's when you just boom, go to the next thing. And I'm just going to leave that there. And I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm going to speed ramp it. I'm going to go to my speed, or I'm going to go to my clip. I'm going to cut off a little bit. So I am dramatically walking into the building. I speed up. Clip, and now I'm inside the. Actually, I changed my mind. I don't want to do that. I'm going to just show me walking in. I'm going to show me going through the door real quick for 2 seconds. Let's see. Clipped it only 1.5 seconds. I want to give it 2 seconds. I'm just going to drag 2 seconds, and then I'm going to just pan up until I get to here. And I want to jump cut, or I want a smooth transition. I'm going to pick a different transition this time. I'm going to click a dissolve transition at the bottom between those two. Now, a dissolve transition basically shows kind of the transition of time. It just shows we're doing something, but some time has passed. So if I go here, now I'm going in, gradually go over, and that was too long. That's too short. I'm going to make that Oh, it's only giving me the option to make it. Oh, I see why. If your clips are too short, it won't give you the option to make longer transitions. See how? So let me undo that. See, this clip is 1.5 seconds and my transition is 0.5 seconds. And if you look at the bottom, the only option I get is 0.5 seconds. But if I click on that clip and put it back to 2 seconds, because my transition actually cut off some of it. Now if I click the transition, I get the option to make it 1 second. So now I got a 1 second transition. It cut my clip again. I want that 2 seconds. And now I got 2 seconds, and then my transition, passing of time. So I can hit play. And let's say, okay, I got my little pan into the building. Here's something interesting about this clip. If you shoot slow motion in iMovie, this is a nuance, but it's something you need to know. If you shoot slow motion in iMovie, on your iPhone, it will, the first couple of, certain percentage of the first part of the clip will be in regular mode, and then it'll go in slow mode. You can remove that in iMovie. So on this clip, I can see there's a little white line. You can barely see it. There's a little tiny white line right there. Right there. That's basically telling me that my speed changes right there. So if I click on my little timer at the bottom again, you can see I have a little yellow line there. If I click on the clip next to that little yellow line on the clip, it shows me another yellow bar because the speeds are different. And if I click on the second one, you can see that it is at a different speed than this one. So this one's at 3, so that was my slow motion. And now, because at the beginning and the end of every clip, it speeds it up. So at the end of this clip, it sped it back up. You can see it's way over there on like the 7th or 8th line. I'm gonna drag that back to the 3rd hash mark. And now they're both, now if I click on both of them, they're both at the 3rd hash mark. So that way now I got the same speed all the way along in case I need that whole clip. That's a nuance that you need to pay attention to when you're editing, because it can get frustrating if you can't figure out why it's doing what it's doing. But anyway, I want this pan, as I came in, past the time, pan into the building, and let's cut that off at a couple seconds. Okay, I don't think I need the rest of that clip. Okay, so there we go with that. So we got our pan. It's a little crooked on the shot. See, when you shoot, you need to make sure you're staying straight. It's a little, the clip actually is a little slanted. You can't really fix that in here. You can zoom in a little bit. If you see on the main viewfinder here at the top, there's a little hourglass up the top, on the top corner. You click that. When you select the clip, you click that, you can pinch in to zoom. And you can also flip. You have to use 2 fingers to flip the clip. But you can use 2 fingers, you can flip the clip. Oh, I can't do it right here. I gotta get out of zoom mode. If you use 2 fingers to kind of swipe up and down on the sides of the clip, it's kind of hard to see, but you have to swipe up and down. If I do that, you can see the clip is spinning. You can spin, hold 90 degrees, but you can't alter it unless you go into a different software. But anyway, that is part of my, so I'm only going to do 1.5 seconds on that part. So that passes the time. So let's go. I come in the door, passes the time. We show the insides of the building, and then we're showing, okay, I don't need the rest of that, but let's delete that. I'm walking up to the bar. So let's get a shot of the bar. Let's see a shot of the bar. Shot of me walk up to the bar. Let's do that. You see the little white line there telling me that my speed has changed again. This one's just the beginning of the clip, so it's fast. I'm going to drag that to 3. Okay, so I'm just going to get a picture of me approaching the bar. I'm going to clip. So you get the hang of it here. I got 1.5 seconds. I'm going to fade into that one, cut my clip back to 1.5. And now I got a dramatic little slow-mo of me walking up to the bar. And then let's fast forward here and see what we got. We got the gentleman. I have to note him. He's Kirk. He's handing me the menu. So I want to put that in here. Just split. Delete the first part. Because this is the same kind of perspective, it looks funny when I jump. It just pops in. I'm gonna fade it. So let's put that back at 1.5. We're gonna make that a 1 second fade. Is that a 1 second fade? Yeah, that was a 1 second fade. We're gonna give that to 1.5. And then we got the gentleman handing me the menu item. Okay. So my shadow starts to come in, so I'm going to kind of stop it right there so my shadow doesn't interfere with the shot. Also, this clip is now 3.7 seconds. I'm going to swipe over. I'm going to make it 3 seconds. So I want that dramatic video from handing me the clip, the menu. Okay, so we don't need the rest of that clip, so we're going to delete that one. And we got him coming to give me the brewski. So let's, this is all, did I slow-mo that one? Yeah, it's slow-mo. It's just, that first part is not slow-mo. So I'm going to slow it down again. That's that first part. And we're going to get a picture of him bring me the beer. But this is a good use of speed ramp. So I'm going to get a video. Let's put my fade here. Actually, I don't need a fade there because it's a different perspective. So I'm going to do a jump cut. Boom. So I'm going to cut off. I'm going to have a picture of him walking up with the beer. I'm going to cut that. So we got, also between, when you cut, you're going to do a speed ramp. You don't want to alter either end of these two clips because it's going to mess up the continuity of the clip. So you don't mess with the ends of the clips as they touch each other right there in the middle. You can mess with the other opposite ends, but don't mess with this particular piece right here because you want that continuity. So I want that to be 2 seconds. Oh, I don't have any more content there. Okay, that's the beginning of the video. Okay, it's 1.8 seconds, okay. So I'm gonna have him approaching me, 1.8 seconds, scan over. I want to dramatically have him hand me the beer at the end. So I'm going to speed him up. I'm going to cut that. I'm going to speed this, flip this middle clip, speed it up. And now I got my speed ramp, and I got him handing me the beer. And that's it. So we have him coming up with the beer, speed ramp, hand it to me. And then we'll skip over all of this content, and then there's a video of me picking the beer, picking it up. I'm going to cut that to another split, get rid of that piece of content that I don't need, and we'll show me walking with my beer. Just enough to get, see I got a little shadow there, so I'm just going to get enough just to get me picking it up and turning with it before my shadow interrupts the shot. Right there. So we'll cut that. We'll get rid of this content. And then we will go, fade that one out because the perspective is similar. Get me back to my 2 seconds. And then we're going to cut this and watch the speed ramp. See my beer bounce right there. I think I want to get it right there with the beer bounce. Stop, and then do a couple seconds of slow-mo with the beer bouncing on the top, and then that's my speed ramp and my shot. So I'm going to take that middle section, speed it up. So now you have dramatic speed ramp with the beer in your hand. Boom. I shot my intro after I had shot all those other videos. And what you can do there is you click and hold on the video. Click and hold. Let me click away. Oh, you got to go back to the scissors. If you click and hold the video, it'll lift it up. And now you can drag it around. So now I can drag that video. Watch how it drags all the way back to the beginning. I'm going to go here. I want to drag it to where I already entered when I entered the building. Okay, so I'll do it there. So you can't hear that, I don't believe. But that's me giving an intro of the place before I go in. So I can cut that and see, because it has dialogue, I'm not going to do slow-mo on that. Okay, so that's that. So we got our intro now, published. And then we cut to us walking up to the bar, getting the menu, getting the beer, walking away with the beer. I got some other content here that I'm going to add later, but I've showed you all of the concepts of editing a video. I'm going to show you one more piece of thing before I finish this video, and then I'm going to show you the final result. But one thing I like to do is add audio to my video. So if I go to artlist.com, artlist.io is where I get all of my audio from. And with this audio, I can go in and I can actually download the audio here. So let's just go with this one. You won't be able to hear this. I can't hear it either. Well, let's just show how it works. So artlist.io, I'm logged into my account. You can download any songs you want on here. You pay a yearly fee. I think it's like $300 a year. And if you click the little download sign next to the song, I'm gonna download this one called Freeze Instrumental. You click the little arrow, the little download arrow, right there. Right there. You click that, and it's gonna download the video. Download it. Now I'm on my iPhone. So the question is, how do I get a video? You can see it starts to download. See the little yellow, and that's going to ask me, do I want to download? I say yes. I'm in Safari on the iPhone. On the top left, you'll see a little blue arrow pointing down. That little blue arrow, if you click that, you can see your downloads, stuff you've downloaded. And that's the audio that I downloaded. I click on that, and I go to the bottom, and I click this arrow, this little arrow with the square around it. So I click that. I can now add it to iMovie. See, iMovie showed up. If I go to iMovie, it's going to show me all. It's going to show me all my videos. The one at the top says last edited. That's the one I'm currently working on. If I click that, it's going to add that music to my iMovie. Now it's going to lock it in right here. I can't drag it or anything. I can't move it. But if you click on it and you hit foreground, see foreground comes up at the bottom. If you click foreground, now I can drag and move this around. I can move this around, and this audio will play alongside my video. One catch is that for every clip that you have, if you want to play audio here, you have to click the audio clip, and see on the bottom, little speaker on the bottom. You can change the volume. You can drag the little circle, change the volume of that. And if you click the little speaker that's next to that line, it'll put a little mark next to it. See how it changed on the bottom, on the left there? It muted it. So you want to go in and mute all of these clips to get the volume off of here. And what that'll do is allow your music to play without any background noise. I don't want to mute myself. iMovie automatically reduces the volume of the music playing underneath here, except when you turn it in the foreground, which is what I just did. So the way I'm going to make sure that my audio stays in sync is I'm going to go in here, I'm going to hit my scissors, I'm going to hit split on the audio all along where I'm talking. I'm going to hit split, and I'm going to click that audio clip, and I'm going to hit the speaker, and I'm going to reduce the volume. See how I reduced the volume on that? See how the slider's moving? So now you'll be able to hear me talking. I don't want the volume to be reduced dramatic, just all of a sudden like that. So if you click on the clip, on the bottom right, you'll see the word fade. You see, if I click that, it says fade. You see, I get a little yellow arrow that pops up above the clip. See the yellow audio bar has, every time I click on that blue, every time I click on fade, that blue audio bar gets a little yellow arrow above it. If I click and drag that little arrow, see how it looks like it's fading out? It's putting a little triangle right there. That's basically fading the audio out at the end of the audio clip, is what it's doing. So now that I've done that, if I click my scissors again, I can then drag this to kind of overlap with the other piece of that audio. So it's totally in sync with the audio because it's the same clip. It's just cut in two pieces. I can click this one, go back to my speaker, click fade, and I can drag that arrow, and now it's going to fade, the sound's going to fade out. The volume's going to be reduced on the part, the clip that I reduced the volume on, and then my audio is going to come in, and now you can hear me clearer. And I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to drag that over a little bit. I'm going to fade this one out. I'm going to fade that one out. And remember this bottom clip, click my scissors to get back to the edit. This bottom clip, if I click on it and click on the speaker, you can see that the volume is lower on that one than it is on that one. So my volume goes back up, and now I've resumed my audio. And that's it. So, and at the end of the video, when you're done, you can go to the end of the audio. I'm going to cut all this other content out. You can go to the end of the audio, and when you fade out at the end of the audio, you can hit fade out, and your audio will fade out. So that's a whole bunch of content, tips and tricks. I'm going to publish the rest of this video at the end of this explainer video, but then you'll see the whole thing. And what I'm going to be doing here in the coming weeks, through now and the end of the year, is I'm going to go back to each of these concepts, and I'm going to explain them one at a time and just kind of publish some videos out there so some of the other content creators that I know or people who want to be content creators can see how to create a very professional video and very professional content for your social media. And that's it. That's me, Rob Moreland, for Moreland, on behalf of Moreland Interactive, but creating and showing you how I create my brew and feed videos. So with that, brew strong and feed well, and check out the video. Cheers. Brew and Feed is here at High Branch Brewing Company in Concord, North Carolina. Let's go check them out and see if they still know how to brew strong.